Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video, All in Crypto here. And today we are going to be talking about some colossal news coming to the Cardano network that has just released over the past 24 hours. Of course, I am talking about Marlow. In this video, we're really going to be exploring what Marlow is, why you should care, and even how you can use it. In order for crypto to gain mainstream adoption, it needs to be easy to use. Now, not only does it need to be easy to use, it needs to be easy to build upon. Marlow is a big step for the Cardano network in facilitating this vision, and we are going to be exploring it all in this video. We will look at the official announcement from Marlow. The website for Marlow is marlow_io, or certainly that's the Twitter account. You do have the official website, which is marlow.iohk.io. We will be taking a look on there. We will be looking at IOHK's official video explaining what Marlow is and why it's such a big deal. This is a very, very exciting announcement, guys. And despite the bear market, Cardano, the ecosystem, and everybody associated with it have been very, very hard at work. Hard at creating one of the best experiences, ecosystems, and blockchains that there is in the crypto space. I truly believe that, and that is why I've championed Cardano as one of my favorite blockchains for a long time. Despite all the criticism, the majority of criticism levied towards Cardano, I do believe is somewhat ignorant, and we are slowly, we've all seen that meme of the Grim Reaper going from door to door, whether it be Ghost Chain, to this, to that, to the other. We are slowly working our way through all the criticisms, perhaps at a slower rate than some of our competitors. However, slowly but surely, we all know the story of the hare and the tortoise. And of course, actually, we've seen this slow, peer-reviewed method before shipping the code and actually going live on mainnet really work when you look at some of the catastrophes we've seen elsewhere in the space. Cardano has been here really as in terms of launched, when you could buy the token, 2017, but it's been worked on for far longer than that. And a lot of those papers, those workings are now coming to fruition. You guys know that I believe that actually Ouroboros, the beating heart of Cardano, is one of its key features and probably the strongest consensus mechanism for proof of stake that we perhaps see in the markets. You've had lots of other blockchains that have not only taken ideas from Ouroboros or the kind of architecture from Ouroboros and made it their own, but you actually have this whole layer 2 sidechain thesis that Cardano was one of the early movers on, certainly in a paper review format. That is all coming to fruition, and you are going to end up with this supercharged chain and ecosystem that, with the likes of Marlow and other applications, will be very easy and a fantastic user experience. It has to be a good and easy user experience, and that's very, very important, something that quite a few blockchains miss out. However, honestly, from using most ecosystems, DeFis, Cardano has actually a very nice user experience, in my opinion. It may not be the fastest, however, we now have Hydra and other things, but this is all things that are being worked on. So without me rambling on and putting anyone to sleep too much more, let's get into it, guys. So yesterday, exciting news. Marlow is now available on mainnet for early adopters to start testing and providing feedback. It's safe and intuitive way to create and deploy smart contracts on Cardano. Let's dive into what makes Marlow special. And of course, you can see here the official announcement. Marlow is now live on Cardano mainnet. Creative, intuitive, efficient, so on and so forth. Guys, I am nothing short of excited from this. You can come and check out the Marlow website. I will leave a link to it in the description. Marlow has been internally and externally audited by, and it reveals the auditor, increasing assurance of a safe environment for contracts used on mainnet. It leverages the power of Plutus, providing strong assurance via formal proofs, testing, and analyst tools. It talks about a number of the guardians, or the guardrails, sorry. Marlow Playground offers a simulator environment to test contracts before deploying them on mainnet with real funds. Its accessible tutorials, guides, and best practice makes Marlow user-friendly and accessible. It's compatible with JavaScript and Haskell and allows for seamless integrations and smart contracts into dApps. Guys, as somebody who currently is looking to build within the blockchain space, somebody like myself who doesn't really have any coding experience, Marlow has actually just made that vision potentially a reality. And this is a massive part. If a blockchain is to be adopted, it needs to be seamless, easy to use, and give the users a great experience. I can't tell you how many projects in terms of dApps or in terms of layer ones themselves have done a very poor job of this, and it just puts you off the entire project regardless of what the tech is behind it. Now, I am a fan of certain ecosystems that do have some issues in regards to the UI and user experience. However, you know, there are alternative or other reasons why I'm certainly interested. So there are tutorials and everything on here. Please do come and check this out, guys. It is a big deal. Fast and efficient, reusable contract templates and intuitive integrations with Marlow runtime APIs makes Marlow an efficient tool for developers looking to build within the Cardano ecosystem. Smart contract creation. Marlow joins the growing family of languages and tools available on Cardano, offering toolkits for creating, deploying, and monetizing smart contracts, perfect for both Web3 communities and newcomers alike. This is just the beginning. We invite developers to collaborate with feedback and usability, documentation, user experience, and more. Share your insights via IOG Zendesk in the link below. And then, of course, you can come over here and explore Marlow. This really is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. What I want to do now is actually play you guys a clip of this was put out by Input Output. I'll leave a link to this full video in the description. And they're actually explaining in a far better manner than perhaps I just have what Marlow is, why it's such a big deal, and why you should pay attention. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my face and play the clip for you.
Let's talk about Marlow. It's something you might have heard about here and there, but I don't really think that people understand how important Marlow will be for the future of smart contracts and Cardano. In finance, there are common types of financial agreements that happen all the time, such as escrow, swaps, CFDs, and various types of bonds. And for the most part, these services are carried out by third parties that charge hefty fees, or in some cases, percentages of the funds involved to execute these services. But we're heading into the future, and we can leverage blockchain technology to do the heavy lifting. Blockchains are immutable, meaning once the info has been input, it can't be changed. This is the ideal condition for anything to do with financial contracts, because you certainly don't want people changing things that have already been agreed upon, especially if the other party doesn't know. And when it comes to security, Cardano is the most secure proof-of-stake blockchain in the world. But we can do even better than just the security that blockchain technology offers. And that's where Marlow comes into play. Marlow is a DSL, which stands for Domain-Specific Language. And that means Marlow is a language created specifically to handle financial contracts like the ones I mentioned at the start of this video. This makes it a special purpose coding language, written in the language of finance rather than a general purpose language, which means it's easier to read, write, and understand. It's also safer. Some errors are impossible to write based on the way the language has been written, and we can completely analyze contract behavior without having to run a contract. Okay, so Marlow is a coding language native to Cardano, but it's also a suite of products. And some of those products are intended for developers and some for the everyday user. So let's take a look at both sides, starting with the products for the everyday user. Marlow's first iteration will be a browser-based application, which will give you access to the Marlow suite, which includes Marlow Library. And this is where you can find ready-to-use contract templates from an open source library. This will give anyone the ability to use all those financial agreements I mentioned previously and more by simply selecting one of the agreements from the library of verified smart contracts and then filling in your information. And for the developers, Marlow was built with accessibility in mind. You can use either JavaScript or Haskell to build Marlow contracts, or you can write in the native language of Marlow itself. And if you're new to coding, you can take it one step further and use an innovative open source tool known as Blockly, which allows you to build financial smart contracts by simply dragging and dropping different options into place. This sort of accessibility opens the door to a much wider audience of potential developers, and now people with extensive knowledge in finance but little in coding can bring their expertise to the blockchain and evolve the space that is DeFi. This is really quite a big deal when you take a moment to think about the billions of people that don't currently have access to these types of tools, and will be able to have access to them no matter where they live in the world as long as they have access to internet. Consider those people that have no identity and no access to banking. Marlowe is able to give them access to credit and banking instruments with just internet access. Marlowe is one step closer to bringing peer-to-peer services to the world and eliminating unnecessary third parties. And this is in line with Cardano's mission for financial inclusion. Marlowe's aim is to democratize finance and make it accessible to everyone.
Absolutely huge, guys. It is a big deal. Marlowe is now live. This was originally done. The video explaining what Marlowe is, of course, in 2021. The vision is still the same, and this is what you're going to see over the coming years for Cardano. You're going to see a lot of what has been spoken about in the past as a pipe dream, as this kind of, nothing burger now come to reality. On that note, guys, I'm going to love and leave you. If you have enjoyed this content, a like is always greatly appreciated. So is a comment. Get this content out there, people. Spread the word. If you're not already following me on Twitter, Cardano Community, please do so. My name on Twitter is @RealAllInCrypto. Make sure you're following the right one. It is @RealAllInCrypto. And on that note, I am going to love and leave you. Before I do that, actually, I do want to give a quick shout out to my stake pool. ALLIN is the ticker. We are now minting blocks regularly, which means we are competing with the larger pools out there as a smaller pool, which means you will get rewards as you would via staking with a larger pool. We charge a very small margin, and ultimately we'd love to have you come and stake with us. On that note, I'll see you all in the next YouTube video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.